7 minutes in Intermodal.
Welcome to episode number 3. So I'm actually here with Steven. He's with Continental Logistics. Steven, how's it going?
Good, John. Thanks for having me. How's everything going?
Good. And we're not too far away from each other. You're in Georgia, right? Right outside of Savannah?
Yep, we're in Richmond Hill.
Okay, awesome. And I did see one thing, we'll have to bring it up from the get-go. You graduated in sports management.
Yes.
Not too long ago. So why logistics?
So graduated 2019 with the sports management degree, like you mentioned. I played baseball in college, so thought sports would be the path that I took. Ended up really liking sales as a whole in college, more so than any one thing in particular. Plans to go into ticket sales at one point, which thank God I didn't, because that was when COVID rolled in and you had all the fake fans in the stands and the cardboard cutouts and all that stuff. So that wouldn't have gone too far. Ended up in a brokerage with a lot of athletes background that were interviewing me when I first got in there, and it just ended up being a good fit. It's definitely an industry I didn't really see myself getting into or know much about when I started, but it's been a great ride so far, and I really can't see myself getting out of it anytime soon.
Awesome. Yeah, everyone says, once you get in one way or another, there's no getting out. So I'm sure you've heard that from several people, and it doesn't matter what country you're in either. So that's cool, man, going from baseball to trucking. And with the intermodal side, I know Continental does so much, and it's 60, 70-year-old company. How big is the drayage side of things, would you say? I know you're in Savannah, so I can imagine it's a big piece.
Yeah, Savannah's a newer operation for us, but we're moving multiple thousands of boxes via drayage, inland drayage, or intermodal throughout the year. It's a really big part of our business. We have some warehousing entities, and obviously a lot of that comes from some European importers and things of that nature. So inherently, intermodal is going to be very much involved in that type of business, where we're operating really as a turnkey 3PL for someone that doesn't have a logistics provider or a logistics entity at all in the States. So inherently, intermodal is a very large part of our business.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the 3PL, because I know y'all are a brokerage, but because y'all have done, it seems like for many years, FTL, LTL, and various other things, I can imagine that y'all synergize across not only with the carriers, of course, for drayage, but with, like you said, the warehousing and such.
Yep. Yeah, correct. I mean, so we do a ton of imports. So we have house carriers in every one of our locations, warehouse-wise. The one that we just opened in Savannah, our yard out back is also the carrier's drop yard now. So we try to build partnerships where, even though we do operate in that 3PL model, they truly do end up, really working with us more as a partner rather than just a carrier that, we're finding off a load board or anything like that. And the same goes for, the LTL and the FTL that you mentioned already.
Yeah.
We have guys coming into our warehouse on a daily basis, and we want to make sure that we're reloading those guys where they're sent out to, bringing them back to our market to make sure that, we have capacity in the area for our warehouse. But obviously for our outside customers as well, we want to put trucks on loads that we're familiar with, that we're comfortable with, that we know is going to get from point A to point B with no issues.
Yeah. And since you see, because you sell not just drayage, you yourself, right? You touch it. So with the drayage component, what would you say? I mean, I can ask this a few different ways, but the biggest area of improvement or the biggest issue, however you want to phrase it, but where do you see the biggest room of improvement for drayage? Like, where are the issues?
Yeah, I think, obviously COVID wreaked havoc on all the ports and all that stuff, and congestion and everything there. So there's always that piece of the element that if, a storm comes in and is closed for a few days, the next day that port's going to be jammed up. But I think technology is a big part of import and drayage and export that could be improved. Inherently, I think drayage is a little bit carrier wise, historically, same guys going in and out of the ports for a very long time.
Yeah.
Where I think you see a lot of different things over the road that are starting to get a little bit newer. You see a lot of the the freight matching stuff and all that type of technology coming in. I think a little bit extra technology in drayage would be something that would be helpful. Obviously there's the macro point type things for truckload to make sure that you know where your driver is at all times, giving your customers updates. I think that could also be very useful in drayage. A lot of that revolving around our warehouse where, sometimes we're waiting on a box for an appointment and we're expecting it there at 8 and the guy's stuck in, the queue line at port for longer than expected. So I think technology could be a big piece of intermodal, and that's drayage, railhead pickup, on trains, everything like that, moving forward.
Yeah, the whole process.
Yep.
And so wrapping up, if there's one thing y'all would want, the intermodal world to know about Continental Logistics, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing, and it's something that we're prideful of. We're a family-owned and operated business. We have been for, like you mentioned, over 60 years. Continental itself was established in 1983, so 40 years this year, obviously. But we're in the second generation of owner right now. But yeah, we're a family-owned and operated brokerage. We treat every customer as a client, as a customer. Not another number to us. If you call in, you're getting a human on the line every time. So we try to bring that family-owned and operated feel to every logistics moves that we do, throughout the U.S. and into Canada and all that good stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's huge. And then one last, probably the most difficult question is, are the Rangers going to win or what's going on?
Yeah, I think it's the Rangers to lose right now. Obviously, when you're up 2-1, you're in a good spot. That lineup's nice, but Adolis Garcia just got hurt. It could change a lot of things, so we'll see what happens. Two great teams, regardless. It's a different World Series. It's two teams that haven't been there in a long time, and I think Rangers at all. So it's exciting to see two different teams that you don't normally see there. Yeah,
it is. Especially, I mean, Texas, it has a huge following, regardless whether it's bandwagon or not. But Texas is I'm biased, obviously, but I'm even following it now. So that's cool. All right, we'll have to get you on after the World Series, and then we'll go from there as well. But thanks for coming on. Great insight. I loved all the points that you made, and we'll put information down here for how people can get in contact with you. Thanks, Steven.
Sounds good.
Thanks, all right, man. Appreciate it. Bye.